Hi, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So, this is a brief video on custodian investment. I had seen a couple of large trades and I was wondering who was buying what. So, I decided to do a video on just some background who bought those shares and where do I think the stock should be trading at and potential upside in a year from now. So, about the firm, Custodian Investment is a conglomerate, meaning it is a parent company to a group of companies that have interest in life assurance, general insurance, pensions, trustees, property, um, business, as well as financial services. So, you might know the firm as the parent company of Custodian Insurance. So, because they do a bunch of things, a few years ago, the name was changed to Custodian Investment, and then you have all the other subsidiaries under or within that umbrella. Um, Now, what struck my curiosity was I saw a large volume of shares traded the last 4 5 days, and eventually the notice was shared. Right, so a few days ago, you had Olakunle Ade-Ojo increase his stake in the firm. Olakunle is the son of Michael Ade-Ojo, who's popularly known as Elizade. Elizade is a firm that's into the distribution and I think maintenance of the Toyota brand, as well as a few other brands in the country. So the Elizade name is quite popular. You might search for Elizade. Now, the new purchases means that indirectly and directly, the Adeojo clan owns about 17.5% of the total number of shares issued by the company. Um, Now, in case you're wondering who else has a large stake in the firm, you have Gratitude Capital, that's owned by the current GMD, Wole Oshin, and then Mike Ade Investments is owned by the Adeojo um, clan, right? Michael Ade-Ojo and all that. So between both of them, it means that they probably own about 40% of this company. Actually, a bit more than that, because if you take the direct holding held by Wale Oshin plus indirect holdings by himself and indirect holdings by the Adeojo family, altogether you have about almost at this point pushing 44% of the company. Now, beyond that, uh, I also looked at the Q1 numbers in order to get an estimate of where I think this stock should be trading at. And so these are the numbers for the first quarter ended Q1 2025. You have the reporting style for insurance firms or companies in that space is a bit different, right? So you don't just say profit and loss or gross earnings and the likes. You have the investment results. Investment income is a big chunk of income for insurance firms. That went up sharply. Interest rates are up year on year. Now you have the insurance service result, which I would call core operations. That fell down sharply in Q1 from 7.2 billion in 2024 to 217 million in 2025, and that was due to higher um, insurance expenses for the life insurance segment. So altogether, you had a marginal increase in profit for the period. That went up from 10.7 to 10.9, so just about a 200 million increase year on year. And if you take the earnings per share is the figure you get when you divide the profit made by the company by the number of shares. Went up marginally, just about up by about one kobo. So for the first 3 months of 2025, the company made 1 naira and 81 kobo in earnings per share. Now, this is my estimate of where I think the stock should be trading at. As at when I drew up this table and I checked a few minutes ago before recording, stock was trading at 20 naira a share. I tried to estimate how much in earnings it will make for the 12 months. I think it will be in the 7 naira mark or a bit above that. Now, I think the stock should, in my view, be trading at least 4 times earnings. So if you take 7 times 4, you get 28. So that's a potential upside of about 40%. Now, the company also pays a dividend as well. Dividend payout tends to be rather tiny compared to earnings. Last year, they paid out 1 naira 25 kobo of the 8 naira 89 kobo in earnings they made. That's about a payout ratio of 14%. One of the differentiating factors, or one of the factors that's led to kind of a drop you'd see, is that last year you had FX gains. Many companies that had foreign dollar assets, valuation of the naira, translate them to naira means they're bigger in naira terms, they had gains and all that. So some of those are absent, right? So they paid about 14% of earnings they made last year. That's 1 naira and 25 kobo in total. For FY 2025, I think that will inch up to about 20%. And if that's the case, it will give you a total dividend of 1 naira and 40 kobo. Custodian tends to pay an interim dividend, meaning by half year, in this case, they pay a couple of kobo as a dividend and the like. So add up the total dividend, in my view, I think they'll do 1 naira 40 kobo in dividend. And you take the total returns, dividend yield, potential capital appreciation, that comes about 47%. So I think that in a year's time, um, this is the return that one would earn. So before you go, please like, share, and subscribe. Any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section. Have a good week, rest of the week, that is, and take care.